It's time now to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, happy Black History Month.
Well, happy Black History Month to you too, George. And guess what, George? Am I supposed to make this announcement or you are?
Well, you go ahead. What you got to say?
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is because everybody's looking on the screen and they're going, oh, there are three faces on the screen today. So we have a special guest.
In the building.
In the building.
All right, let me do my thing.
Okay.
We got the friendly neighborhood advisor,
Thank
Michael
you.
Jennings, is in the house.
Okay, all right,
Vicki,
better.
It's been a minute. Michael, you ain't been too friendly with us lately. What's up with that? Come on.
It has been a minute, but I'm glad to be back. Street saying I needed to make my return, so here I am.
All right, okay. I want to make a couple of quick announcements and then turn it over to the friendly neighborhood advisor. But the main thing is that to make sure that everyone, I hate to say it, but it's getting ready to be tax season.
Okay.
And so start gathering your documents now. Make your accountant or your tax preparer happy. Go find your paperwork. It's been coming in now for about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Make sure you have all those things ready to go because the clock is ticking. And we're going to have to, you're going to have to address those issues very, very soon. Also, changes are taking place in the contribution levels that you have for your 401k plans, your 403b plans, all your defined contribution plans. And thank you to everyone because the 15th annual Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret, which is being held on the 26th of this month, is sold out. I promised you all came through. It's sold out, but you haven't done one thing that we asked that you do. And here it is, George. We sent out a big announcement on email and on our LinkedIn page that we are running a contest. We are running a contest concerning the Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret, giving away some special prizes, including dinner for two. If you will go to your social media page and post your reactions to what you love about jazz and what you love about the Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret. What we're going to do is to look at the likes and shares and so forth, the activity around those posts. We have a way of tracking it. And the person who gets the most as far as reactions, whether it be a video, whether it be a post, whether it be a comment, then we are going to award to that person that night the grand prize for the Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret Challenge. All right, then. So here we go, George, and I'm looking for yours.
Wait. You talk too fast, Vicki. Slow down.
Too fast?
Come on. No, only because I want to make sure I understand what people need to do. So they need to do this before the cabaret because the announcement will be at the cabaret.
Correct. Okay. They need to get this done by the 23rd.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
This is what. So just reiterate. You're gonna write, post, whatever you want to do.
Post,
whatever medium you choose.
Exactly.
Right. What you love about the Jazz Cabaret and
Black History Month.
And Black History Month and the cabaret together.
Correct.
Those two things you got to do.
Exactly.
Why I love Black History Month and why I love the cabaret.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, that's why I had to slow you down, sister.
Okay. All right. And so when you do so, and like I said, it can be video, or post, or TikTok, or whatever. When you do so, we're tracking the reaction of individuals to what you posted, and whoever gets the most reactions will be our winner. Make sure that this is done by the 23rd of February.
All of us are excluded from that, right?
well, you just excluded me. I wasn't planning on being excluded, but yes,
Okay,
I can't win. Okay.
You can't win.
I
Okay,
can't
but
win.
you can do it. Okay.
Okay. All right. Of course we couldn't win, George.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
I was gonna say, all right. Well, I just want to see what's up, but I still
Okay.
post for you.
All right.
All right,
So now, Mr. Neighborhood Friendly Advisor, I know you have some things that you want to share with us, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Go right ahead, Mike.
Sounds good, Vicki. Thank you. And yes, and as we're all aware, it is still the beginning of a new year. And as Vicki mentioned earlier, it is tax season. So of course, it's going to be a perfect time to reflect on your finances. Now, for those of you unaware, here at Brackens Financial, we do focus on financial planning. And one of the first things that we evaluate with our clients is cash flow, meaning what they have coming in versus what they have going out. And that is pretty much what defines everyone's budget and what we're all capable of accomplishing in this year. So for anyone that has never actually sat down to plan out their budget, I got to admit, I before I got into the industry, that was something I never did. But you should probably consider doing that for yourself as soon as possible. It's not only a best practice for financial well-being, but it's also vital for so many people without them even realizing it. Cash flow is the basic process for any individual or any household's finance. So you take your income, you subtract what you need to spend money on to keep your life going, keep your household running, and what's left there is the disposable income, those discretionary funds that you can utilize as you see fit, whether that be to save more money or to do things that you really want to do. Regardless, that's where you're going to be seeing those funds from. And now we also do have to consider the fact that we are still in a high inflation environment, meaning our expenses for so many things have increased so much within the last couple of years at such a quick rate. If everyday items are costing more, that's going to leave you with less money to spend on things that you do actually want to spend your money on. And I got to tell you, I was this close to buying a live chicken for myself. I don't even know if my lease allows it, probably not, but those egg prices were out of control. Thank God they pulled back a little bit on that. So what happens when people aren't keeping track of their budget? A few different outcomes can come from that. If you've been watching the news lately, you may have seen that a very high rate of Americans are actually living paycheck to paycheck. And the reason we can tell is because also credit use is also increasing and being used at a very high rate. People are unable to keep up with their expenses with just their income, so they're going to start supplementing that with some of their credit. And as you can imagine, what happens to credit, or you can imagine what happens to credit in a high interest environment, a high inflation environment. So people end up carrying more debt month to month, putting on more debt as time goes on, and also paying that at a higher interest rate. And with that, I also want to say exercise caution when using those small financing loans when you're shopping online. I know sometimes we get into that shopper spirit, I myself included, and we get to that checkout page and you see that little option of paying it in installments. Depending on the term length, those can definitely show up on your credit report. And not only that, but then also when you use that feature, you then have to worry about missing or not missing those additional monthly payments. So instead, just try to plan out your larger purchases out in advance rather than relying on credit and saving, or not saving, but lending.
Oh, so
Mike,
you want to anticipate. Oh, go ahead, Vicki.
we're about to say the same thing. So you want everybody to anticipate exactly what they need to purchase in the future and to plan that out before we get there. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not, again, I know it's a difficult thing for some of us. And actually, just thinking back on some of our newer clients that we've been helping out this last few months, last couple months, with their budget recently. And it's pretty interesting to me to see how our minds perceive money over time. There are things that we spend money on monthly, daily, and we don't really think about it. The old coffee a day analogy, right? And we tend to overlook these small payments in the grand scheme of things. But then when you start looking at the money that you spend annually on some of these items, it's easy to see why it seems like money is just evaporating out of your bank account.
All right, then so you want me to be careful about timed payments,
Absolutely.
add up everything that I'm spending on a monthly basis and translate that to annual, so that when I translate that to annual, it's going to give me a bigger impact of really understanding what I'm spending my money on. Is that this process?
That is the process. And luckily we are in the age of technology. So, many of these banking apps, they're going to use some technology to help you keep track of those expenses. Some of you can open up your bank account and the app and see, the different categories that you're spending money on. Again, I looked into that myself. I'm ashamed to say I've spent far too much money on eating out this past year, probably the last couple of years, which is a shame because I do love to cook. So I'm going to make more of an effort this year to, buy more groceries and to cook and to meal prep and to not spend all my money on all of these different restaurants.
Okay, so now George, you getting ready to laugh because I think we had this conversation I did about popping some grease in my very first segment, like some years ago. Okay, to make sure that we weren't eating out as much, because that does drive the budget and drive the cash flow into debt many times. So Mike, before we close, is there anything else you want to say that you think people have been spending money on without really being conscious?
Well, that's again, everyone's finances is their individual circumstance. So, I'm not going to be the one to tell you what you're spending too much money on unless I can actually see what's going on in there. So my overall takeaway from this is to, for everyone to take or make an earnest effort into planning out your budget this year, actually sitting down, looking at your expenses from January, and projecting that out to the rest of the year and seeing that if that lines up. And like I said earlier, it is one of the first things that we analyze for our clients, financial planning clients. So if you're ready to tackle your finances with a real plan, a bona fide plan, please give me a call, 315-748-5540. Again, that's 315-748-5540.
And Vicki, before we go, I wanted to ask Michael, Michael, we were here when you first walked in the door. So how long have you been at Brackens now?
I've been at Brackens. I started August of 2019, and I got into my full position February 1st. So I just passed my first annual anniversary.
He got his first anniversary.
Congratulations.
All right. Yes.
Yeah,
you know what? I
great.
should have put some balloons up there, right, George?
Yeah, because I remember when we first met, Michael. So this is exciting, and congratulations on your first anniversary of Brackens. All right.
All right. So I want to say again, okay, make sure that if you have any questions, particularly on how you can construct your budget and to capture your cash flow, that you reach out to Michael. Or if you have any additional questions, you can always reach any of us here at Brackens Financial Solutions Network at info@brackensfsn.com. And George, I'll say to you, 2 weeks to go before you're there getting your Pioneers Public Service Award. Congratulations again. And for those who have been asking us about next year, remember, the last Sunday in February is the Brackens Financial Solutions Network Jazz and Arts Cabaret each year. So mark your calendars now for the last Sunday in February, and our plate is full.
All right. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's Money Maven.